Kind of Liquidator coming back with another video. So it looked like Tyler Reddick is on a complete media tour after winning the Daytona 500, and it looked like he opens up about Michael Jordan being the owner of their club. And yeah, man, if you guys don't know, Tyler Reddick has become an overnight star. We all should have seen this coming, man. Winning the Daytona 500, pretty much stamping him as a pretty much elite driver in the NASCAR sport. Now it looked like he is taking his talents to the big screen, bro. He has done one, two, three, four, five multiple interviews since winning this Daytona 500. Now, before we get into what Tyler Reddick had to say, a lot of people has been wondering what has been going on with Bubba Wallace. So Bubba Wallace, he's kind of been behind the scenes, man. Bubba Wallace was making headlines last year and the year before last with making his debut for Team Jordan. Um, it's a lot surrounding Bubba Wallace, man. A lot of people have mixed feelings about him as a driver, as a person. He speaks out on a lot of topics. Well, with the next race coming up down in Atlanta, he opens up about this. This post said, you just got passed. Bubba Wallace explains why Echo Park Speedway is one of the most mentally exhausting tracks. I believe that is the next race that will be taking place for NASCAR.
Atlanta is the most mentally taxing racetrack race on the circuit. Always on the go. You're always on the gas. You're always aggressive. The most aggressive guys are at the front leading that thing. And so telling yourself that anytime you're like, whew, you just got passed. It's like, damn. Because you're pulling sliders. Like you're taking that run. And so it is tough. Like you're exhausted after that race. I remember getting on the plane to go back and just sitting next to my wife, and I'm like, I don't even know what day it is. Like exhausted. The race is driving, it's fairly easy, but mentally taxing, one of the hardest places to ever race at. Atlanta is.
So that was Bubba Wallace, man, speaking about this upcoming race. Now we have to get to the topic of discussion, and that is the homeboy, Tyler Reddick, speaking to media today about his relationship with Michael Jordan. Guys don't know Michael Jordan made some headlines, man. We got another update video coming out about Michael Jordan after this one. A lot of people in sports speaking about it. But let's listen to Tyler Reddick today.
Your personal story, I think people should know. And if you're kind enough to share it with us, your 8-month-old son, Rookie, recently had his kidney removed because there was a tumor that was growing that was impacting his heart. And he was with you at Daytona along with your wife and your other son, Bo. Can you just share the story for us? And he had a pretty cool milestone at Daytona too, didn't he?
Yeah, Rookie got to, I mean, I watched him. He was over here patting the trophy, just like making eyes with it. You know, Rookie loved this thing. So, yeah, my son, he, you know, from the time that he was born, it always, you know, me and Alexa would talk about it. You know, he would just be in pain. He wouldn't sleep great. One thing that was very obvious is anytime he would take in food or we would try to give him a bottle, just randomly, he would just, the entire bottle would come up. And there was just a number of things going on at the same time that just didn't seem like, you know, normal growing pains or things that like babies grow out of. And, you know, things were just going down the wrong path for a long enough time. You know, we were at the pediatrician's office multiple times a week addressing things coming up. And, you know, I wasn't loving, I guess, the answers, right? And my wife certainly wasn't either. And so things just got to a point where we were genuinely concerned for the well-being of our child. And she decided, I don't like the answers I've been getting, so I'm going to take Rookie down to Levine's Children's Hospital. And they're able to understand pretty quickly, yeah, your son is in heart failure. And we figured out what was going wrong, but it took time to go through the systems, if you will, and understand what is causing this. And that period of time when we knew he was in pretty serious amount of heart failure, until we were able to understand what was causing it and have the plan of how we're going to address it, that period of time of going from thinking our kids, you know, healthy, or being told our kids healthy or doing okay, and these things will resolve themselves, to then finding out this will not resolve himself. He's got heart failure. That period of time from there until figuring out what the plan was going to be to get him better was really, really tough for for everybody. It was tough for my son. It was tough on me, and it was really tough on my wife. So it was a hard time. I was very thankful to have a lot of great people surrounding me. The entire NASCAR industry supporting, helping, reaching out, doing anything they could to help, make our lives easier. And so, yeah, to see Rookie, have successful surgery and then, very quickly start to bounce back from the surgery and the heart failure was very promising to see for me. And to have him as healthy as he is now and as happy as he is all the time and sleeping and eating, and then, being in victory lane for one of, my life's biggest moments was just awesome.